Felice, welcome to Legacy Art Santa Barbara and to your artist talk. I am president of Santa Barbara Visual Artists, and we are showing here and exhibiting at this beautiful gallery at 1230 State Street the month of November through December. And we have receptions tonight, third artist reception Friday, and then the first Thursday of December 7th, and again, third Friday for December. We're so pleased to have you. You have had such a wonderful journey as an artist. What do your photographs say about you as an artist?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and it's an honor to be down here in downtown Santa Barbara. So you asked what my photographs say about me as an artist?
Yes.
Yes, I've been told that photographs are self-portraits, and in so many ways they are. What I'm drawn to is sort of the opposite of how I was brought up and from my first career. So my first career was building time management systems, and the main product was the Day Runner Personal Organizer, which was a real big idea in the 80s when everybody was trying to get things done very quickly. High productivity, getting it done, so forth. And we worked in our home. We had 90 people working in our home. I had babies during this time, and it was hectic with a capital H. So when I discovered photography, it allowed me to slow down. It allowed me to stop time and linger in the moment. So that was the motivation and the self-healing from that era. What else the photographs say about me is how much I enjoy color. So being born and raised in Brooklyn, we played in the streets, we played in the driveway. It was nothing but cement and traffic and horns and grayness all around. Even the parks were, they weren't real nature places. So I'm drawn to nature, and I'm drawn to peoples of the world where they wear colorful clothes, where they're in harmony with nature. So I think my photographs are like that. They show a little bit about my shift and where I feel really comfortable right now.
I think that stands out to me as who you are as an artist, that you travel to different locations and been on site to capture the cultures of people.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us what you enjoy capturing with your camera.
I like to capture people in their place, where the people and the environment are equally important. So for instance, the one photograph that seems to be the most popular are the little boy monks, the novices, running up and down the temple. Without the temple and without the novices in their little red, robes, the picture wouldn't be, it's not enough just to have the monks or just to have the temple. So I call those lifescapes, where they're equally important. The environment, the background, and the people. You might be familiar with the Molokai Maidens.
Yes,
photograph. In fact, it's this one right here.
That's my favorite
of
your artwork.
So we were on assignment to do the hula dancers. These were the hula dancers, and it was kind of okay. It was kind of boring, to be honest. When they stopped dancing, they meandered out to the water, and the sun was setting, and something captured their imagination in the water. And there they are. It looked like it was set, like a theater set, and that was the picture. And it's won awards. It's really interesting, isn't it? When you think about the right moment to click the shutter. Another one is called Water Bear, and it was the two oxen looked like they were kissing each other. The water bearer was pouring water in the barrels, and in the back was mist with hundreds of temples in the background. The camera seemed to click on its own.
I think that your artwork shows that you do capture the moment, and it's so interesting that is what you treasure about your experience. Could you tell us a little bit about each year about your travels, how you set it up and how that happens for you?
Sure. When I was first starting out with Claire Steinberg, we worked in her home. It was a small group, and we just photographed around Hollywood. And one day she said, "I'm taking you all to Cuba." So that was my first trip, and it was amazing. You can imagine the flamenco dancers on the stage, old women on the corner smoking cigars, and so it was terrific. So that was a taste of another culture, an exciting culture. And right after that, I went with my husband to India, and I only had a point and shoot with me. And it wasn't just an ordinary event. This was called the Kumbh Mela, where if you were to go, it's every 12 years, and if you were to go to the next one, you might find 150 million people there. It's the largest gathering of humanity on the planet. The year that we went, there was only 15 million, but that's still a lot of people. And I only had a point and shoot camera with me, and there were these moments that were so intense. One was when the women and children were paddling out to the middle of the Ganges River, where they're going to disrobe and become immortal in the water. And at that very moment, my camera stopped working. It just wouldn't go. So I dropped it, and I had to experience the moment. Now, even though this was a time where I was unable to take a photograph, I became a photographer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because it was so emotional and it was so powerful, and I knew there were other places in the world like this. And so when I heard about the next trip through another photographer friend, it was Burma. And I cannot tell you what drew me to Burma, but I knew I had to be there. And that was pivotal, because my photographs after getting back from Burma created the first exhibit that I had. It went on from there, you know.
Is this the one that when you went to Cuba?
This one is in Argentina.
Okay.
There's a little town called La Boca where tango was born. And they dance in the streets in front of the cafes. And one of the things I like to see in photographs, whether they're people, animals, or even trees, is connection. So when you see these two dancers, it's almost as if they're listening to each other for the next move. And for instance, well, this one, I can't say that there was a connection between the trees. Some of my photographs show actually trees reaching out to each other. But there's something lyrical about this, and how the trees are in harmony with their environment too, just as people are in harmony with their environment.
And somehow you captured the moment, because there's been several people that have come to see this one in particular.
Oh.
And it's the finite background of capturing even the smallest of flowers and the branches.
Well, that was actually, this picture was taken out of a hotel window.
Oh.
And it was in the fog. So there was no reason for this to be sharp. But thanks to some of the Photoshop skills that I've learned, you can get some detail. And if you have some detail, that's all you need. The rest of it could be fogged, and it makes a beautiful photograph. Thank you.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Any new artwork that you're thinking of, or direction that you're taking?
Okay, so interestingly enough, there were two trips where I was unable to use my camera. One was to Egypt, where the camera actually fell out of the overhead compartment before my trip started, in the airplane, and before the trip started. So I had my cell phone, and cell phones are amazing these days, as you might know. And so that saved me. However, this last trip, which was a week ago, I didn't expect to not be able to use my big camera, because it was a new camera, I didn't have the settings correct, and it was a destination that I've been so anxious to get to. It was the bald cypress trees in Louisiana, on the Louisiana-Texas border. And it was 1.5 years that I waited for this trip to happen. get there, I'm overwhelmed with the beauty and the opportunity of getting these fabulous photos. I get home, and they're not good. So, at first I was almost devastated, but then I realized that I've been wanting to do something more with my photography, and this is giving me an opportunity to make them artistic. And I'm gonna do a series of smaller pictures that are processed a little bit differently, and greeting cards. And so that's new. It's new to be able to create art. In a world, photographer in a world of gallery artists is not quite, you don't want a straight photograph. You want it to be artistic.
And that's where I think it's such a fascinating story to interview artists. We're going to try and do a series but I'm so glad to listen to you as an individual, as a dear friend, and hear about your journey, because you are such an interesting person that has traveled all over the world to capture different people and moments. And I think that's what you represent in all of your art, that you as a photographer captured the moment.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've had a number of people who feel that there's an emotional component to it, even before I did. But I can say that sometimes it feels like there's this moment that either there's a gesture, an unconscious gesture, or there's a connection, and the camera seems to click on its own, and I feel that that's the moment, the right moment. And I've been able to capture more than I realized. It's not just a photograph, but thank you.
Well, I'm very pleased to have had you here.
Thank you.
Talking about your art and sharing all this information as an artist and the artist's journey. Thank you so much. We are a group of 18 artists here at Legacy Art Gallery of Santa Barbara, and please come and see us or come in and talk to us during any of the receptions. We'd love to meet you and share what we have here as a beautiful exhibition.
Thank you.
You want to mention the hours as well? This will be edited.
Yes. Okay.
So we're here Wednesday to Sunday from
So
3 to 8.
can I start from that then?
Yes, anytime.
Okay. Please come and visit us as artists. We are sitting here at the gallery Wednesday through Sunday, 3 to 8 p.m. On the reception nights, we start first Thursday and third Fridays from 5 to 8. And there is music here. We have Marco Alejandro playing Spanish guitars, and we have composer, pianist, and musician Crispin Barrymore and his lovely girlfriend, Layla Duncan, who is an excellent, wonderful singer. So come join us so that you can meet the artists. We love to talk about our work, and it is a wonderful experience just for an evening out in Santa Barbara.
Would you like to say any closing words, or we can wrap it up? Perhaps to promote yourself about
You can
Instagram,
tell
Facebook.
she's such an in-depth, and so is this lady.
Any ideas?
Would you want to mention your Instagram account, your handle, Facebook?
Well, I am
Website?
on social media.
Yes.
I am on social
3,
media.
2, 1. Okay.
Hi. Well, yes. You can find me on social media. I have a website called Felice Willat Photography, and I'm on Instagram as FelWill, and you'll find me on Facebook, Felice Willat Photography. And it's the best to be in a gallery like this. And I've been fortunate to be in a gallery also in La Cumbre here in Santa Barbara, and also in Gallery Los Olivos. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love the journey with you.
I probably
like
shouldn't have
that.
mentioned the other galleries though, right?
Oh, it's all right. We can edit.
You can take it out, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Thank you. Was that okay?
Yes.
You want to do any of it over?
I'm depending on him being the expert editor.
Okay, you take out,
I was fumbling
have it
too.
be whatever.
No, you have
Thank
to
you.
like a pro.
Oh,
Yeah, you.
It's all